As Ultima flew away from the ship, her interest in Faraga completely disappeared. More than that, Ultima cared about Gabil's actions. What has Mr. Gabil been up to since just now? Gabil was hit with concentrated fire from the magical disturbance radiation. It looked as if he had been mistaken for Vildora for some reason, but Ultima didn't bother with that. At this rate, Gabil would be swallowed up by the flame of destruction, and she hoped he retreated quickly for refuge. Troubled but unable to do anything about it, Ultima had to fly to Gabil's side. I say, Mr. Gabil, what have you been up to since just now? Oh, it's Miss Ultima. In fact, I've got a new grip. Somehow Gabil had a look of pride as he answered Ultima's question. Ultima was originally still curious about what was going on, but it occurred to her that she would have to retreat first now. She wouldn't be killed by her own magic, but Gabil probably couldn't afford it. Maybe he'll survive, but the odds of winning such a bet are too low. It was at this point that Ultima could finally start questioning. So what the hell just happened? Ultima questioned Gabil's tone of voice with a firmness. A Gabil failure is the same as an Ultima failure, so of course she will be harsh. But Gabil does not know how to read words and say such things. Ga. Actually, it was, being hit by a special light released by the enemy, I thought of something. I saw on the spot that the property of the thing was that it would have an effect on the magic element, so I thought I'd experiment and see how far I could take it. Gabil, the stinking lizard, had better be scolded by Lord Remuer, thought Ultima. But she relented and pursued the question next. So what's this new feel you're talking about? Woohoo, that's the point. Listen up, you guys. With regard to our inherent skill, Dragon Warriorization, Mr. Midray once said that skillfulness can prolong use. Now I'm in a state of transformation, right? Turning his head and looking around at all his companions, Gabil spoke triumphantly. Hearing this, the Flying Dragon congregation looked at him and back, showing a surprised expression towards each other. The average amount of time they could transform was only about 10 minutes, and everyone had long since recovered. I thought it was the Gabil who could do it, as a matter of course, but it seems not. So if we know the mystery of it, we can extend our time too. In this way, Gabil's men began to clamor one after another. Watching Gabil they began to clamor, Ultima showed an unbearable look. I sincerely hope that these lizards will kick the can down the road and suffer. She has no mercy on her enemies, even in the face of her men. But strictly speaking, Gabil and his men were not her minions. Gabil spoke up to such an Ultima. It is thanks to Miss Ultima that I have discovered the secret behind this power. You bought me time because you believed I had other ideas. Huh. Oh, don't play dumb, I've seen it all. Your willingness to give immature us the opportunity to grow is really appreciated. It didn't bother Ultima to be told that. She regained her composure, and her opinion of Gabil rose a little. Let's take it as it is. By the way, what's new with Mr. Gabil? Everyone seems to be wondering. Ultima decided not to correct Gabil's misunderstanding, because she thought it was more important to clean up the mess now than that. This matter is expected to be reported to Lord Remuer, but I will briefly explain it first. It should also help boost combat power, and you all need to listen carefully. Taking these words as an opening, Gabil proceeded to paraphrase with a serious expression. The content is related to the complete control of Dragon Warriorization. Dragon Warriorization, an inherent skill of the dragon people, is a special skill that strengthens itself by letting the mana get out of control. The out-of-control mana will absorb the surrounding material and strengthen the user's flesh. By increasing the quality in this area to improve the defense, even if injured, it will recover immediately. Then, the enemy attacks seem to have the property of disrupting the movement of the mana. It feels like my power seems to be further strengthened. So, it will be stronger than this current stance. Even Ultima was surprised that the magical vein disturbance radiation had such an unexpected effect. No, it's not that. Despite the increase in power, I couldn't control it smoothly. So I concentrated my consciousness and felt the mana that was out of control within me. It turned out to be just like that, the body couldn't move. Mr. Midray once said, the realm without me, right? To look squarely at the universe within you and listen to those voices. This way. It's too long. Keep it simple and clear. At this time, Ultima spat viciously, and Gabil's men nodded in agreement. Temperamentally seeming to lose to everyone, Gabil nodded and said, yes. To put it simply, it's a matter of sensing the out-of-control mana first, and then casting the numinous power. This way the unthinkable can happen and the power can be controlled. Upon hearing this, Gabil's men began to clamor, saying outright, it's too messy. Instead, it was Ultima who gave an O in her heart. At the same time Ultima began to take an interest. Oh? Meaning that Mr. Gabil's men might get stronger if I exercise them. That would certainly help Remuer. Remuer would most likely compliment her. I see what Mr. Gabil means. But these will be negotiated later. Now to go first and help the little hobgoblins. Ultima said this as if to announce that the break was over. Well, that's right. Then let's go over there and provide support too. Gabil also cheerfully agreed. No way, how can this be? In the main camp, far from the battlefield, Lieutenant General Geist shouted with an iron grimace. The tragedy of the impossible is presented. His proud division of magic-guided tanks was being tricked by a monster wolf who turned into a humanoid. I must report to that Calgareo guy quickly to get permission to evacuate. Jice's rational dimension speaks thus. What Jice saw before his eyes was the defeat of their army. Their rear is also in a state of disarray, with the chain of command even more disrupted. One's own people even started killing each other. Even if the battle continues, it's only a matter of time before it's all over. Lieutenant General Geist. No matter what we do, it's all over. Please, please, please order a retreat. Without having to listen to the advice of these ministers, Jice held the same view as them. Yet once this order is given, he takes all the blame for the defeat. How can I retreat? If so, His Majesty will certainly dispose of me. How could this be allowed to happen? I am the man who is going to be a hero in the future. But here is where my road to greatness is going to be ruined. At the very least, there has to be a justification that doesn't hold me accountable alone. Now the battle bets on the prestige of the Empire, and will end with his failure, an idea that reveals Jice's true nature. He only wanted to preserve himself, and didn't care about sacrificing his men. Jice is such a minor character. Lieutenant General, it will be difficult to revive the troops at this rate. This team has not turned into a scattered mess at the moment. We should let them get rid of the enemy in the rear. There is no shame in withdrawing for a while. If the fighting continues, we will only suffer more. Upon receiving such a suggestion, Jice finally began to use his brain. I'm the man who's going to be a hero. How dare you let this happen? You're all incompetent and will only rip my legs off. Fully revealing his ugly nature, Jice scandalized. The other side is also shaken by this. What happened? The enemy attacks through magic. Magic. Could it be nuclear strike magic? It's not certain yet, but it should be right in terms of scale. But that. What is it? Say it. Yes. As for the enemy's attack magic, the one that seems to be able to easily break through the Legion's magic that our army uses exclusively for defense. What about the level of casualties? The explosion was overhead. We've lost contact with friendly airships. This is not possible. You mean the blimps, the Empire's proud air combat flying corps, are all gone? One by one, they clarified the situation. One thing this makes clear to everyone is that the damage is worse than imagined. We're retreating. No, we should retreat somewhere else and regroup. Rather than speaking to the soldier generals, he was speaking to himself. Jice so ordered. Faced with this overly unfavorable situation, Jice finally made a judgment call for everyone to retreat. But this judgment was made too late to have a critical impact. A brisk voice rang out across the battlefield. Oops. You're not going to say it's over here, are you? I should have said that already. If you invade, we will show no mercy. Jice hurriedly turned his head in the direction of the sound. A beautiful face of extreme whiteness reflected before his eyes. The other party wore a full smile. It's Testarossa. Don't look at me like that, I'm a woman of my word. After all, when I used to come to this world to play, I had indeed fulfilled the desire of my lord. Please be assured. And I will repay you well. Jice's heart was occupied with fear. Not the fear of inferiority in wanting to know how to preserve oneself, but the never-ending fear that erodes instinct and threatens the root of life. You're. Oops. Maybe you forgot. Howard. Testarossa's beautiful face gave Jice the creeps. Forcing down this fear, Jice intended to order his men to attack. Yet no one responded. I don't know what you want to do, but your men are resting. They seem to be very tired. Because they don't seem to be able to stand up anymore. As if in a whisper, the voice of Testarossa informed rang in Jice. They had been talking face to face until just now, and when they came back, they were standing behind each other. Jice has a unique technique called player that can sense the movement of the opponent through the sound. No matter how skilled, no one can control that tiny sound. Not just the beating of the heart, but even the sound of blood flowing through the veins can be captured. But there was no semblance of a voice in Testarossa. And by this time Jice had discovered another horrible fact, and that was that the fallen men made no more noise. They're all dead. You killed all these men. Oops. Since I was a little hungry, I ate a little. You said you ate some. What is it to eat? Well, I ate a little bit of soul. Hearing the other side talk like it was nothing, Jice was outraged. Anger overrode fear, and his body found strength again. Go to hell, evil demon. Mind Requiem. Jice took advantage of the opportunity to make the strongest aura he possessed. A murderous sound wave was released into the surrounding space that left people with no place to run. But only in exchange for a graceful smile from Testarossa. Ah, the sound is so refreshing. What a waste to let humans have such a beautiful tone. It's a pity. You're such a great musician, and I have to kill you. A look of sorrow overshadowed the drunkenness, and Testarossa murmured. It was only now that Jice knew regret. Because of this, Jice yelled desperately. Wait a minute, I want to make a deal. Geez, what kind of deal is that? I, myself, am a high-ranking officer in the Empire, and I am well-versed in military combat, and have classified information. I promise it will work for you. So please leave me alone. Not afraid of disgrace and not caring what outsiders thought, Jice began to beg for mercy. However, his eyes were still alert, and he was still cautiously spying on the movements of Testarossa. He had thought there was nothing more he could do at this point, but his proud ears caught the sound of several approaching footsteps. Jice knew who the people close to this side were. That kind of running would have been silent if he hadn't noticed it at all. Just hearing the footsteps alone, he intuited that these people were from the Imperial Intelligence Service. With Jice's help, they're sure they'll be able to win even if they have to face Testarossa. So now whether it's begging for mercy or doing something, he intends to bide time. In the end, Jice won in this bet. This smell, you're a demon, no, a high-ranking demon general. One side shouted and several soldiers jumped in front of Jice. Jice thanked himself for his good fortune. There were 3 men who came over here. Seeing that they had come, Jice regained his remaining strength, but he still deliberately inquired. Yes. I'm with the intelligence service. As Jice had expected, the other parties seemed to be from the intelligence services. One of them was about to declare his name when a man who looked like the leading man of the center stepped in to stop him. Hey, wait. Now is not the time to introduce yourself. Being so slighted, the man also looked at Testarossa with a stony expression. You're not just a high-ranking demon general, are you? Looks like this one has acquired flesh. Tisk, no wonder the breath is faint. Lord Geist, I'll introduce myself later. Let's join forces now to crush this evil demon first. Well, sure. The men who could serve as ambassadors were definitely more than just ordinary soldiers. These men were the Empire's highest fighting force affiliated to the Imperial Emperor's Order of Near-Guard Knights, a disguised posture for those Near-Guard Knights. The 11th ranked Hibs, respectively. Boulder, ranked 38th. Gordon, who is ranked 64th. Basically the Near-Guard Knights move in threes when infiltrating. More importantly. Oops. This is nostalgic. You're the ones who once beat me, right? What? I'm so happy. I was hindered at that time, so I didn't get enough to eat. It was a rare occasion when I cooked so well that I was about to feast on it. I'll always remember the regret I felt at that time. Testarossa spoke out, with an evil will in her. She was being sealed, and her voice sounded unmoved. This wickedness can't be. That face is. Are you the white primordial? You're kidding. It took so much effort to seal her, but she came back to life so quickly. Seeing the 3 men in a panic, Testarossa flashed a dismissive smile. The look was very wicked, very beautiful. Yufu. That's a nice look. There is fear, there is anxiety, and there is unfounded confidence. I'm not even running away from, even though I'm bluffing. You guys really like to make extra effort. Shut up, you demon. I didn't think you'd come back to life, but did you forget? We once sealed you. Wait until you beat us and then show off. Mr. Tibbs is right. I'll kill your soul this time. Those words seemed really funny to Testarossa. Oops, that's funny. Is it okay to be so confident? Do you think the same trick as back then would still work for me? Caught in the Imperial sealing formation, Testarossa asked gracefully. It's so unconvincing. No one will listen to the demon's nonsense. Gordon was right. This is not the place for you to be. If we don't understand it once, we can bury you 1,000,000 times. All right, Mr. Jice. We'll take care of it here. Please order a retreat as soon as you can. The current situation left Jice momentarily unresponsive. White primordial. What are you talking about? Could it be the big demon? No, there's no time to think about that right now. Instead of looking into these guys, it's better to find a way to stay alive first. Desperately trying to get the idle head to work, Jice exported the most action he should be taking right now. Then he hastened to order the entire army to retreat through his unique technique, the player. However, it was too late. All hope was dashed when they met Testarossa in the present moment.